Hi there, and welcome to Hectic Eclectic. Today we're going to talk about empathy. Are writers more empathetic than non-writers? The term writer encompasses a wide variety of people, from young to old, from east to west, from English to Chinese to Arabic. Writers exist everywhere, and wherever they are, they must learn to select, combine, and orient words in a manner that makes sense to other people. Unless, of course, they write strictly for themselves. This ability to make themselves understood by the reader includes not just making the sentences legible and coherent, but making them emotional. Writers need to express feelings to the reader without any tone of voice or inflection. They must do so simply through diction. So I wonder, do writers possess more empathy than non-writers? Is it this ability to understand another's emotions what makes them capable of expressing emotions in their work? For the sake of argument, and because of my own personal writing background, I'm going to stick to writers of fiction, particularly authors, though all forms of writing must be able to connect with the reader, whether it's fiction or non. Fiction writers are responsible for not only sharing a story with readers, but also for creating a realistic character that readers can care about. To do this, the writer must create an emotional attachment between the character and the reader. The only way for a writer to create this emotional attachment is to understand emotions themselves. They must give the character realistic emotions, motivations, passions, and fears so that the character feels real, even becomes real for the reader. And that's just one character. Stories do not exist with one character alone in their world. They see and interact with other characters who each have their own individual personalities, their emotions, and motivations. Thus, the writer must understand not just a handful of emotions, but a wide variety of emotions. And not just one type of pain or happiness, but a number of slight alterations of pain or happiness, because one person's happiness is not the same as another person's happiness. One person's pain may drive them to be sad, while another person's pain may make them angry. Writers must be able to understand and implement each of these different variations so that each character is unique. Through creating unique personalities, characters are able to interact in a variety of different ways: affection, adoration, fear, hate, disdain, repulse, etc., etc. These meshing or clashing personalities is what allows character interaction. It creates understanding or conflict based on how they react to their environment and other characters. If writers didn't possess an understanding of empathy, all characters would be the same. Sure, they could paint them different colors, give them different ethnicities, and have them practice different religions, but if the writer doesn't actually understand the different ethnicities and cultures and religions and people and how and why they do things, how are they supposed to accurately depict them or make them real? This may be the reason why a lot of authors do not write characters of varying cultures. They haven't yet experienced that culture. It's hard to understand the role emotions play in a culture other than our own, but they can observe and they can learn to understand even without it being their own culture. For example, writers are able to create a damaged, tortured character whose past is filled with turmoil, even if their past was quite pleasant. Writers are able to create a character who loves swimming, even when the writer fears water. Writers are able to write a character who gets super excited about winning a basketball game, even if they've never played a sport in their life. Writers are able to create a character who overcame adversity, who's outgoing, who stands up for themselves, even when the writer is a wallflower. A writer's empathy also allows characters to grow and develop. They're able to understand where a character will begin and where a character will end, because they understand how certain scenarios affect the character's emotional state and how it changes them. But maybe I'm biased. I am a writer, and I've been very lucky to interact with a variety of different people, to live in their countries, to experience their cultures, or maybe certain people just naturally have a higher level of empathy whether they're writers or not. What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week with another video on Hectic Eclectic. Bye! Unless, of course, they write just... Fuck. Also allows characters to grow. Not working. Not working. My face itches so bad. Zombie face.